How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is GersonOrtez from the customer acquisition team. Thank you guys for being here with me yet again. And I'm here to continue the little series that I started um, stating what you should educate your clients on, and also what you got to keep in mind when you're advertising for these clients or for yourself, and try to increase engagement or increase conversions and sales. And we're just going to dive right into it. And the first piece of knowledge I want to share with you guys is that most brands, the smaller brands that don't have a big marketing team behind them, what they're doing is they're posting too much about them. I scroll through pages that have, up to 4 or 5 thousand likes of local businesses and really, really successful businesses. And what they do is they post too much about themselves. They disregard the customer's experience. They disregard what's happening in their community. And what I've seen from is that the two businesses that I worked with so far, the restaurant and coffee shop, is that what they do is they include the community in almost everything that they do. What they do is they ask the customers what their favorite drink is, what their favorite meal is, what their favorite day of the week is. Things like simple stuff that increases engagement, increases their visibility, increases their relevance, and they run 1 or 2 ads with me already. I'm just doing their management for the most part, but the ads that we run get really good visibility because we already have a large community that's involved in posting on the page, providing reviews, getting new likes, increasing the relevance on Facebook without us having to spend money boosting posts. So that's one lesson that I've learned, is that you have to be able to post not just about yourself, but include the community in every post. If not, make it a good balance of 40% you, 60% community, asking them about how their day is, what what they wish for the next Super Bowl, who they want to be the next Super Bowl champion, stuff like that. Just things that don't necessarily involve your business, but does involve your community. You want to appeal to the community. You want to appeal to your market. And if you don't, you're not going to get as many sales as you could, because you're not tapping into the other interests that you could bring and attach to yourself. And when you do that, you're able to get more customers to come to you. Now, another point would be that they don't necessarily name how they solve a customer's problem. They don't get the point across clearly. They forget that they can't be making posts that are way too long when it comes to the copy, and they don't make the solution unmistakably. Wow, unmistakably, what the heck? Unmistakably clear. I guess there's a lot of mistakes right there. Unmistakably speaking clear. So what that means is that through small little technical adjustments that they do not make when creating an ad or creating a post, and each post has to be carefully crafted, by the way. This is something you have to pay attention to. You can't just slap a picture up on a page and expect it to get engagements. Copy has to be there, picture quality has to be there, the right editing has to be there, and the right timing has to be there, especially for Instagram, now that they provide analytics about your active audience. But we'll get into that later. This is for general Facebook use. You have to be able to let the customer know that you not only have the solution, but here's how the solution works for you. Once they understand what they're buying and how it works, they'll be more confident in buying it again and again, and recommending it to others, and leaving reviews and liking your page and sharing your content. Until then, you're not going to get the engagement or the conversions that you really, really want. And if you're getting the conversions that you want, you can always get more. Make your process unmistakably clear without having to give away your brand's secrets. If you put thought to it, it can be done, and it's usually very, very simple. Another thing is, when you see companies that were established 20, 30 years ago, you think of old. If you can avoid, like, there's certain things that really do work that way. It's more brick and mortar businesses and restaurants, but more things that involve technology. You don't want to say that you've been working since 1990 or 1980. Rather, they want to see that you know how to use technology now, not that you've been around for forever. Being around for forever gives a sense of antiquity instead of this sense of innovation. Now, if they see that you're at the forefront and that you are out there pioneering a new technology, a new social media platform, or that you're just keeping up with the trends, that makes you more appealing not only to young customers but also to the newer customers, like older customer base, because they see that they're not getting something that's old, because old doesn't work. Not that they don't work, but old methods, that's why there's new models of cars every year, because the old is just somehow not as good anymore. It might get you from point A to point B, but is it the most efficient way? Most likely not. People want innovation. That's what, the market is all about. If you're not innovating, you're not integrating. If you're not integrating, you're falling behind. If you're falling behind, you're gonna die. Your business is gonna die. A lack of creativity makes you boring. If you're boring in person, that's a bad thing. People don't want to be around a boring person. But if you're boring on the internet, and if you're especially boring on ads, you're gonna fail when it comes to using social media. You have to be entertaining, you have to provide some type of knowledge, you have to provide some type of value, something that engages the customer from beginning to end, and that tells a story or that proves a point, and they will stick with you to the end. And it won't be a bitter end, it'll be a sweet end, because they're going to end up putting money in your pocket. That's really what you need in the long run, right? Whatever effort you got to put into one video to get 10 people to convert, or 10 people to buy your food, or your repair services, whatever it may be, if you get 10 people to do that, all that effort is worth it. If you get one person to convert because you were creative, all that effort was worth it. Here's why. That creativity can be used and recycled again. Meaning, you can use it 1 month, a year later you can use it again. We live in a place where we refresh a newsfeed, we forgot what we saw 10 seconds ago, because everything is here and not here at the same time. Everything just is gone in a flash. So we live in this easy access to knowledge, easy access to information. We forget the last story 5 minutes ago because there's a new breaking story. It's the same thing with ads. It's the same thing with brands. That's why every brand spends hundreds of millions of dollars, like the big ones, spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year trying to stay relevant. And that really, really matters. Relevancy matters. If you're not relevant, you're not getting money. Now, if you want to be relevant, the best way to do it is humor. Now, humor is really, really powerful. It's why there's a lot of, Viners are still famous, a lot of them, because they're funny. They can stay relevant by being funny, bringing real life situations and exaggerating them with comedic timing, and it works, and they make a lot of money off of it. Arby's does it now. Wendy's does it as well. McDonald's is starting to do it. They're not that good at it. Pepsi sucks at it. Coca-Cola hasn't even tried it yet from what I've seen. Really, the best one doing it right now is Wendy's. As a big brand, they consistently shut down people who don't like their brand and appraise people who do like their brand. And when they shut somebody down, it's what you would call a roast session. They shut them down in a way that makes the other person feel bad for even trying to come at Wendy's. That's a good way to establish a brand's relevance. Now, to be able to get a customer to convert, you want to create an impulse. Like, I want to try that. Like, I know that when I see a recipe video on Facebook of how to make, garlic stuffed, like, Parmesan chicken bread, I know that it's easy to do because they showed me the process through a little video, no narrating, just, catchy stock footage music, and a video of somebody speeding up the process and doing it. I saw somebody do it. I can do it. It's a very simple countertop, very easy to do. You can do that anytime. You can show somebody how to make a coffee at home that you make at your, your coffee bar. People are going to try it at home. They know it's not that good. They'd rather go to your coffee bar because you're the one showing them how to do it. You know how to do it better. Well, that's how that works. If you can't create an impulse, you want to create curiosity. There's this new trend coming up where there's apps that they call them spin tails or something like that, where it's horror stories through text format, where you see people, you can read the text in whatever voice you want. But what that does is their ads create curiosity. They always lead up to the almost culmination of the story, and then the video ad ends, or the video ends. Now, that's a really good way of getting a customer's attention, because people like feeling certain senses. They like feeling certain emotions like dread or adrenaline or sad or happy. All these stories that they say, they usually lead with suspense and adrenaline in a in a horror movie type of way, and people love that. I